Are customer complaints piling up like a sink of dirty dishes? Services can help you better understand your customers and take the frustration out of doing business with you, both online and in person. Visit serviceease.net and book a discovery call today.
Hi, everyone. This is Lisa Dance with UX Happens and RBA. I'm a customer experience and user experience strategist at ServiceEase. And on UX Happens and RBA, we look at user experience and customer experiences and give businesses actionable tips for improvement. So on today's show, Mike, we're going to talk a little bit about, that research I did earlier this year, the Richmond Business
Yes.
Customer Experience
We
Poll,
have 102 business.
103 local businesses.
There you go. So you got it across the board, all types.
Yes, definitely. And so one of the questions on there we were asking about, well, what kind of expert help with local businesses find most valuable? And so we've talked previously about the fact that the first piece of it was marketing, and we talked a little bit about some of the things that are people are relating to marketing is actually that the people already aware of them is that they don't have a lot of clarity around what they do and what their benefits are, how to work with them. But one piece I want us to focus on today is that 15% talked about customer experiences and user experience help, but also they talked specifically about mystery shopping or secret shopping. Okay, are you familiar with that?
Yes. Whenever I was always looking in the one ads, I would always see those jobs there where they pop up.
Okay.
And you always thought it was kind of funny, but I know that it worked because if somebody's expecting you, you may not get the real experience. That's why I always love the show Undercover Boss, because if people are just shopping, they're getting the real experience, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
Whereas this one right here, you're able to get actual responses and data.
Right, definitely. And so with mystery shopping or secret shopping, they have people who come out, they, purchase a product or a service, and then they have like questions and form to fill out that talks about their experience. And now they can incorporate in video and all that as well. But oftentimes that's used to either see how consistently things are being executed, in the transaction. So it's looking at sometimes it's pricing to make sure that there's consistent pricing among customers, how the staff is interacting with customers, and are they doing the procedure and saying the things that already outlined that they're supposed to say. So did they greet someone when they came in, or did they offer them their receipt, or did they offer to help them, like different things like that. So making sure that they are following the procedure as far as customer service with it. But when you think about is that can show a particular issue and people aren't complying with it, but it doesn't necessarily show what a customer wants. It's not designed for that, right? And so if you have just a problem that you feel like your policies and procedures are not being applied, equally across customers, and you want to make sure that your staff is complying with that, then mystery shopping or secret shopping is a good option, right? But on the other hand, user research, customer research, that's going to help you understand what customers need and why when they interact with your organization, they aren't finding what they need and they may leave, right? It helps you understand like what their expectations are as far as what the experience is, what kind of information they're looking for, what the process is like. So it can offer a broader look at what the experience is like.
Just power in the data.
Yes, power in the data, and we collect in different ways, and that doesn't mean you like for mystery shopping, it shouldn't just be done. That's the only thing that's done.
Yes.
It still also needs to be combined with other kinds of feedback that you're getting for customers as well as looking at the data, right? So that you aren't getting just a slice of it.
Okay.
Yes.
What can you, real quickly, can you tell people, besides the mystery shopper things, what are other ways that people can capture the data?
Well, certainly. So, that always customer feedback, like surveys,
Mhm.
things like that, customer interviews. You can actually observe, like sometimes you may not notice in stores, but there might be someone there that's a researcher that's observing what's happening, how people are interacting with
Okay.
particular things like that. Your analytics can tell you, it can't tell you why, but it can highlight sometimes what issues are. Like when you get a lot of churn on a page, somebody lands on a page and then they leave really quickly
Yes.
with it, or it looks like they call it like rage clicking, where someone keeps clicking back and forth trying to make something appear that it doesn't appear.
Really?
Yes, definitely.
Rage clicking.
Yes.
Okay, it's a new one for me, ladies and gentlemen.
The good rage can be all about, unfortunately. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a lot of ways that people can observe
Mhm.
where there might be potential issues with it. The mystery shopping, it's can be very important sometimes in businesses where the risk and compliance is really important.
Oh,
Okay, so like if you sell alcohol, right, you want to make sure that your staff is checking the ID for the people that they need to check it for, right? So that could be something that you might want to do mystery shopping with it, because that can put you in a lot of risk.
yes.
Right, you know what I mean? But also like banking, making sure that they're verifying the ID, right? Because you don't be giving out money and information
Willy-nilly.
to people who aren't there. So those can be really, opportunities where there's a lot of risk that you just want to make sure that the execution is according to compliance with it. Hospitality can be, what's that check-in process or checkout process, like with a hotel or something like that. Is it the daytime and the nighttime? Providing the same experience
Oh,
across,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like we may know,
Right.
don't check in at a certain time. It's not going to go good for you.
Right. Yes. So those are, reasons why that would be a really good time to make sure that there's consistency across the process. But if you're thinking about what, say, a customer expects at their hotel check-in and what's causing them friction, that may not necessarily capture it. Having user interviews and observation, that can give you a bigger understanding of what the issues might be.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lisa Dance is here. How can we get information about Service Ease?
You can visit my website, it's serviceease.net, or you can contact me on LinkedIn, Lisa D. Dance.
There are a lot of things happening. So you had brought when you looked at the survey, and you said the whole part about the mystery shopping and secret shopping. Explain to the real power of that and some of the other things that jumped out at you off of the survey.
Well, certainly. So one of the pieces, which is kind of similar to it, was that a lot of local businesses were relying on informal conversations for customer feedback, or if that was like 83%. Most were combining those informal conversations with either like social media comments, online reviews, support calls. That's all things that the customers initiated. So local businesses are being more reactive with getting customer feedback than proactive. And so putting in a process where, you at least have, a structured feedback, or survey, or structured conversation, you're periodically and you're documenting it so that you have you can see patterns. That's really important, right? Because the informal conversations are good,
Yes,
but if you aren't putting
we're capturing that.
if we're not capturing it, then you can't see the pattern over time, and you may come into your head is the most, either something that's really negative or something that's really positive, but that might not be the pattern across it. So that's was a big one that people weren't capturing feedback in a way that they could use it to make improvements or have new opportunities.
Lisa Dance is here, and when you tell people UX, people's their head goes around a little bit. They don't understand what it is, have no clue, doesn't understand how it affects their world, and then you start talking to them and like, oh yeah, oh that thing, yes, always wondered. So those are the things, the power of UX, user experience. That's the expert right here. What's an engagement with Lisa Dance look like?
Well, certainly we first start out with a discovery call to understand, where you are, what your goals are. Sometimes there's a sense of something is wrong. Sometimes they don't really know with it, but we have conversation and try to pinpoint like what makes the most sense now. You know what I mean? Are we looking at something that's your revenue driver, something that you're getting more complaints on, or it's something you're looking to do, right? So from that, I'll do a proposal. I always like to start out with an audit if it's something existing so we know where we are, right? I can look at your analytics and combine that with the audit to, really key in on these are the priority areas of things that we need to work on and fix first. But we can add on to it with actual interviews and usability testing with actual customers. So going on your website or your app and them actually going through tasks that they would normally do, So like for a credit union client, we would look at how somebody is opening an account, right? And what kind of friction that they're facing in that. And that's a big piece because remember we talked about last week that for every one checking account that's open,
How many don't finish?
3.3 don't finish.
And you call that was abandonment, right?
Abandonment, right? And that's very costly because that could be a long-term relationship that they with the bank or the credit union, and so those it's important to understand what that friction is. And a lot of organizations, there's a big gap between what they think the customers are experiencing and what customers are actually experiencing. And I try to shine light on what those gaps are and prioritize what to fix first.
So Lisa's here. We don't need to talk to Lisa. We're good. We're good. Okay, Lisa, explain one more time the power and the problem there.
Right. We're good because a lot of times people say customers aren't complaining. For that one customer that that complains, there are so many others who either don't have the time, they haven't, the relationship is not strong enough for them to put the effort in. Some people just don't like to complain, right? So there's a lot of reasons why people might not complain, but there's very much an issue. So
It didn't turn to a groundswell yet.
right.
We're not selling this product enough, but we're good now. And you're saying, but we didn't do the data. We aren't watching it enough. Alrighty, man. One last time, how can people reach you?
You can reach me on my website, serviceease.net, or on LinkedIn, Lisa D. Dance.
Oh yeah, you brought your buzzer. Was there anything this week that got to you?
Oh, so many.
So many. What's the world coming to? Man, it's like I just asked you a simple question. I'm thinking, yeah, well, Mike, there was one thing that, this one thing happened to me. You're just walking around with like the Charlie Brown thing with the, this dark cloud. Okay, man, what happened? Well, give me one.
Okay, so one was I was on chat and with a company, and I was trying to get something fixed on my website, and seemed like 5 minutes they were sending me a new code saying they needed to verify so that I could so they could keep on the conversation, right? And it was like in this long thing of trying to get something fixed, which I still didn't get fixed. I know they had sent me that verification code like 8 times. That was like so frustrating. So it's like, if you're going to provide this customer support through text, and I have to keep on verifying that I am still the right person, that just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe that's not the avenue that you are able to successfully provide customer support.
Man, that's an easy fix.
What?
Demand to speak to supervisor bot.
Right.
I demand to speak to the bot in charge.
Right.
And the sad part is they transfer you to another bot,
Right.
and they're the boss.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
Mike King, Lisa Dance, the lady has to go. You need to, you do a lot online. Maybe you should go only do things in person, because then you get the person with an attitude. Like, I'm always getting a person. You see the line, they're like, all right, next one up. This person looks like they would rather be anywhere else in the world, and here I am. Hi. I'm not trying to be the friendly one. I'm just, hi, what's up? We keep it moving. They're like, man, I hate this thing. At that point, I would take a bot.
But you point out a situation like they said, next up. One thing from a customer experience perspective, that really frustrates me is that in stores where they don't have a structure to the line, and so people are just like kind of standing around, and then they just say next, and the last person will jump right up there, and it's like, no, you all need to sort of have a structure to what the line is so that it actually runs fairly. So I get so frustrated.
You're
with
always that person. But you know the one sad part is, if I end up being that person back in line and I end up in the front, I'd never look back. I'm telling you, I'm not going to look back, because I don't want to see what's going on behind me, because they're like, hey, I'm like, thank you. Never look back. How quick can I run out the store? Because I think I just did something.
Well,
I did somebody dirty.
yes, and I don't really raise my voice very often, but I will say, excuse me, I was next.
You're that person?
Yeah, I just think that it's a fairness thing.
But now it should be on the company to do better.
Yes.
Don't force me.
Yeah,
to
that's
be-
what I'm saying. The company should have provided a structure of how this line is supposed
Okay,
to.
so now we're in Walmart. Walmart put us in cattle chutes now.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's just like standing in line, but now the line is long. Now they've made me buy 18 other things because I'm standing in line. And they learned that from the dollar store. I'm in line now. I might as well get that extra thing. They end up getting extra $3 out of you just because I'm standing in line.
Yeah, that's definitely a strategy.
That's a strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mike and Lisa. We're in a soapbox right now. So the next time you're in the store and the person says line 3 is open, what should we do, Lisa?
The person who is the next up, they should go. Or if the person says, are you going to go? And if they don't, then you can go. But I just feel like we're all in this together. Let's be cooperative with each other.
Ladies and gentlemen.